Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so turn your heads to the back. Look at Kay. I don't know if you've noticed in the last month, Kay's gone to a whole new pastel shirt collection. I tell you what, he's turned over a new leaf. That Kay doll.
It's good.
Quite impressive.
Yeah.
There we go. So we have two vendors this morning, two great breakfasts in one. So let's start with Georgia Natural Gas. Come forward.
Come on.
All right. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for letting me be here. I'm going to step out of the light there.
There you go.
I am here to talk to, some of you may know Michael Harris. Anybody know Michael? Okay, a couple of you. So Michael is still with Georgia Natural Gas. He just moved up, and he's working with some of our multifamily partners. And so I'm here today. I'm the program manager for what we call the G&G Hub. And it's a portal for real estate agents to do a couple of different things. You can help your customers, your clients, get connected to gas service. You can also connect yourself for maintenance, winterizing, inspection. And you can do that at a reduced rate. So basically, the G&G Hub is a referral reward program. You're going to sign up and tell us who you are and tell us where to send your rewards. We're going to share special offers with you to share with your clients or with anybody in your network. If you want to farm a neighborhood, if you want to talk to people on your street, if you want to put it in your newsletter, you can share this offer with them. If they sign up and provide your referral code when they sign up, we're going to reward you. We're going to reward you $120 for your first referral and $60 for every referral after that.
Whoa.
So what do we give your clients? We've got a couple different offers, but the bottom line is your client can sign up for anything they want as long as they choose Georgia Natural Gas and provide your referral code. We give you an offer to make it easy. So you've got two offers here. The first is the offer that's good all year long. It's a $120 offer for a Visa or bill credit. They can choose any plan they want. The second offer is something we rolled out last week. It is a 0 cents per therm offer on any fixed rate plan. This offer is good for 1 month. It ends on September 19th. If you've got somebody you're working with right now, this is also a great thing. Is it got cold this week? Not cold, but cooler. People are going to start thinking about turning on their gas. It's a great thing to give to those clients. You pay 0 cents for their first month on gas. They still have to pay the taxes to AGL. 0 cents for the first month, 49 cents for the next 11 months.
Is that competitive?
No.
49 cents?
I just locked in at 39 cents, but,
Okay.
but because I've been with them for a long time.
All right.
And I did some shopping.
I will say that's a good opportunity to use this because $10 a month, that $120 bill credit, does give you more than the 10 cent per phone discount. So just as an FYI. It's hard to shop gas prices because they change every month. On the 5th of the month, every price changes. If you're low one month, you might be high next month. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much. This is how you get started. This sheet right here. You got to register, tell us who you are, and if you have any questions, reach out through the website and you can contact me. Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. So here's the way around that. In this 0 month, go order a big tank, like a 10-foot tank, and hook up a hose to your pilot light on your stove and let it run for the whole month. So you fill up that tank, and then you use the tank for the rest of the year. So
There you go.
I think there is a disclaimer that you can't heat your neighbor's
There we go. All right, let's continue. So Joe with U.S. Healthcare has also brought breakfast. Joe's a good guy. We met him before, so we need good health care, Joe. Talk to us quickly.
Good morning. I'll keep this short. Joe Avena and my associate Jim Crump with U.S. Health Advisors. We provide affordable health coverage solutions for self-employed individuals, families, and small businesses. It's hard to believe that this year is coming to a close already. We're at the end of August. Rate increase letters are in the mail. If you haven't gotten it, check your mailbox. We can help. Now, whether you have coverage as self-employed or you have it through your spouse through a corporate entity, those premiums are going up as well, especially when you add the spouse and the families. It costs nothing. We'd be happy to look at the coverage that you currently have. There might be better coverage out there, better for your needs at a lower, less expensive rate. So once again, Joe Avena, Jim Crump, U.S. Health Advisors, where we help people get coverage that's not as expensive as their mortgage.
Great.
Thank you, Joe. A lot of food back there, thank you. So, thank you. Marcus, what do you think?
Moving along.
Moving along, what else?
Yep.
How's the market? No, not just fantastic. How's really the market?
Still crazy. It's like it's not a buyer's market, it's not a seller's market, but everybody trying to convince somebody, if you're a listing agent, that it's not your market, they don't listen to you.
Busy, not busy?
A lot of people
Not busy.
What?
won't move.
Kevin, busy or not busy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing my showings on my list.
Yep.
Never been busier.
Okay, Morch Hour, busy, not busy?
Slammed.
Slam, Susan.
Not busy.
Okay, so across the board,
One more time, what you focus on upstairs?
It's good.
okay, there we go. So we'll talk more just about the market, but from my perspective, again, I have a cross-section of 350 agents. It seems far, far busier for late August than usual. Generally, August 10th to September 15th, second slowest time of the year, other than December 10th or December 20th to January 10th. Not that way at all this year. A lot of contracts, we'll talk more about that. I think it's probably a combination of things, but definitely rates are a huge piece of that. Okay, we're gonna get Pete English up here. Most of you know, some of you don't know, Pete is now kind of our technology director. Pete's a very smart guy, and he really knows this stuff. So you all know, starting September 1st through September 15th, there's going to be changes with the way you do business at Keller Williams. One, Command is coming on board, which once you get it, will be a time saver and a money saver and make you way more competitive than your competitors. Okay? Two, it will save you money. But what we don't want is you to be fearful of it or have concerns like, and Pete will tell you all this, there's no way you can lose your former database. We're going to just stay calm. Pete's really smart. We are totally every day trying to figure out all your concerns so there is no way that the things you worry about can happen. So Pete, your floor.
I feel like I just won Miss America.
Good. Good feeling.
Have a crowd.
Do what?
A crowd.
Yeah. Some of you have used Command, and some of you haven't. And, you know, since family reunion, there are people that says, hey, this is great, let's go for it full-fledged, and some of you that jumped in and got burned a little bit. It's gotten a lot better, and it's ready now. So if you have a CRM, then that's the very first start, right? If you're still working off your contacts in your iPhone, then it's time to start looking at Command. Number one, it's free, and today it's ready to go. So Command is a platform that has a whole bunch of different modules in it. Not only can you keep up with all of your contacts, but you can do mass mailings and you can track opportunities. It's got a link into the new DocuSign. It's sort of like .loop, the new .loop, if you will. And all of that stuff is plugged into Command. And so what Stacy and I are going to be doing is for those that raise their hand and say, I'm interested, we're going to train you out the wazoo. But no questions yet.
Okay.
And they're just letting you know, it's an entry.
Coming.
So it's not like KW is forcing you to stop Wise Agent or whatever you might be using, okay? KW is saying, hey, here's a tool that's going to help you, and there's so many different modules within Command that whether you use all the modules or just a few of the modules, there's probably something in there to help you. Just like if you remember, Microsoft Office is comprised of what?
Word, PowerPoint, Excel.
3 different things,
Publishing.
right?
Yeah.
And half of you have never even used PowerPoint, but you still have Office, right? So it's simply, Command is very much like that. There are different modules within Command that could help Jake, right, that Hank would never ever use. So it's ready today, all right? And one of the things that's going to happen, and some of you have heard that, hey, the green sheets is going away. Well, so what's happening is part of Command has the ability to track an opportunity. And if you think about an opportunity, when the opportunity closes, you fill out a green sheet, right? So what happens in Command is by going through the process of an opportunity, when it's time to close, green sheet's already filled out. So it makes it pretty simple. So for those that don't even want to use Command, and that's fine, then all you got to do is learn enough of it so that it fills out the green sheet for you. But for those that want to use all of Command, we're going to train you as fast as you want to go and as deeply as you want to go so that you can use the tool to expand what you've been doing way faster and way broader than you've ever done before. Does that make sense?
Sounds great.
So
What doesn't make sense is, first you said the green sheets are going away,
Yep.
but then you said, oh, we'll be able to do this, it'll fill out the green sheet for you.
Okay.
Let me explain it. Having to go into that green sheet system, that's going away. Providing the information that we did of like, who are the parties to the contract, what's the address, you know, some of the basic skeletal, it'll just be a part of the opportunity process. So it's not a separate, action. So we still have to provide the information to the back office, but
I think for no better word, Kevin, they're calling it a green sheet because that's what we, in our mind, that's the information we turn into the office. But it will not be the green sheet as we currently.
exactly.
It won't be called green sheet, but 99% of you already know what the green sheet is. So I'm
It's really
using-
your commission request.
Correct.
Commission request.
So lastly, nobody's forcing anybody to use Command. What we're going to do is we're going to send an email out and say, would you be interested in getting trained in Command? And if you raise your hand, then we're going to ask you a bunch of questions so that when you walk into the room, we'll have a pretty good idea of how many people are using a CRM today. How many people might have done a mass mailing to more than 25 or 50 people in the past? So the more that we know how you're using whatever tool you're using, it's going to help us when we stand up here and try to teach 30 people or 100 people, and every single person has a different level of competence in their marketing. Does that make sense? So we're going to send an email out. If you raise your hand, we're going to help you as much as you want to be helped.
So and the email will contain a Google form. So there'll be a few questions, you know, so that we're getting the lay of the land, where everybody's at and what you're interested in.
Question?
Would you record these so that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we'll also do is during our class, when we get to a point in the class where we're trying to teach something, and you have this weird question from out in left field, we're going to make a note of it over here so that we can answer your question. But if we hear that question more than once, then obviously it's something we need to address in the classes afterwards. Does that make sense? So we'll incorporate what nobody has ever asked yet, we'll incorporate into the future classes. Any more questions? Jake?
Some of the things, like over the last couple of months, we've been kind of told just feed your database, or feed Command. And then the second thing is, when does all this kind of start? Are we looking at a time particularly today, for example? Or are we looking at 9/1 or September 1st, a week from now?
Do you already have a CRM that you're using today?
Yes. Okay.
Okay? Then it's up to you whenever you want to dive in. We're going to support you, okay? So that if you want to do, two systems concurrently, then it's up to you.
No,
Okay.
no. I just want to say one. I don't want to.
Okay?
No, I'd use yours.
Do you want to talk about any other timing?
Well, those are still somewhat of a moving
Right.
target, but for argument's sake, September 1st is, you have to turn in your green sheet a different way.
Correct.
Okay, and then September 15th, there's still negotiation between DocuSign.
And the Georgia Association of Realtors.
Right, so we think the 15th, but we don't know.
So what
Here- Here's what we're trying to say today, okay? We're trying to, one, your current database will never be lost, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Gone, don't worry about that. Two, do not worry about getting paid. If you do not know how to, on September 2nd, the staff is very much prepared. We are on the ground with boots to help you.
Okay.
And three, same thing with a contract. If you can't figure out how to write a contract, if your former world has changed, we have you. There are people prepared to help you,
Okay.
okay?
So,
Right, so you'll never be able to, you'll never be in a situation where you need to write a contract and you can't. You'll never be in a situation where you're not gonna get paid, your data will never disappear.
For
Okay.
you to please be sure that support people that are outside the office, virtual support, is included, please, for your trainings and stuff, if they
Yes.
want, like Darren Prindle and
Yep, Darren's already signed
you've
up.
got the email.
anybody else.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so let's, go ahead, let's wrap up.
Over here?
I was just gonna say, since the contracts and the green sheets are really the big important part, because you can work on your marketing over
Right.
time
That's
and
right.
everything.
That's
Are
right.
they gonna be some of the first classes
Yes.
that we're going to?
Yeah,
do?
Absolutely.
remember Command is a platform.
Right.
It's made up of different modules.
Right.
So contracts is obviously a module that's very important to
Correct.
you, right? And there
Yeah,
may be a different
those are
module
one and
important to
two. Right.
Bill.
That's right. Okay, so, let's.
Show any of the video.
Yeah, so we are starting next week. There'll be 1 to 2 classes per week in here on this. And there's also, you've received text from Stacy, 1 and 4 every day in the Gannick room.
Correct.
Yes,
They'll-
but I've sent everybody the information to watch at home.
Right, and that's coming from International. Every day, 1 and 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you don't have to rely on us to train you. There are a lot of resources out there, okay? You don't have to sit here and go, well, I didn't learn it because I couldn't make last Tuesday's class. There's a ton of information out there. Don't wait on us.
Okay, and on the 1 and 4 schedule, don't know why, but I guess because we're in real estate, they keep, some of those time slots are filled with real estate oriented training, not command training.
General training.
So, if it's not a command topic, typically when it's labeled tech, that'll be, but I apologize, not 100% of those are gonna be on command. So you can sign up and all of them after their
You
live
don't have to sign
stream,
up.
next day, they're uploaded so you can watch it.
Anytime.
Okay, so, thank you, Pete. Very glad Pete's on board. He's very, very tech savvy. Let's, do you have that video? So, you'll be, we don't know how often, but fairly often, you will be receiving these from Pete, something like this.
Hello again. Today we're going to talk about .loop. And contrary to what you may have heard, the world is not coming to an end. We're talking about how to back up your data and how to feel comfortable that even though change is coming, you'll be okay. I'm Pete English with Keller Williams Atlanta Perimeter, and today we're going to talk about how to back up all of your information that's in .loop, irrespective of whether it's a deal you did last week or a deal you did last month.
Okay, so that's enough. This is like, how long is this? 20, 30 minutes?
9 minutes.
9 minutes, okay. So, we're not gonna watch it now, but you're gonna receive things like this, okay? Okay, that's really gonna help you. I just wanna make you aware of the visual, what it's gonna look like, all right?
And if you don't,
Right?
if you're looking for just general information, where would this content be located? Like, say I'm like, okay, well, I want to check out what he has to say about a different topic. Are they on our intranet website, or?
Well, since we don't have any right now, there is none.
We have one, so.
But
yeah,
what we're going to do.
That's a good point. We'll probably
ultimately
archive.
is have a table of contents. So if you're interested in a specific topic, you'll go to the table of contents and jump down to
Where is that
Email.
table of contents?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
I mean, he has a YouTube channel, but
Terry.
we'll see about getting it to our YouTube channel. Maybe one or two.
All right, so, let's continue. So, answering your question last week from iBuyer, okay? Georgia is one of the first states that we will have that program available. I think we talked through how cool that could be as a touch for you. Multiple ways that we have the ability to offer an iBuyer program. Or two, if you go in a listing appointment and somebody has said, I've talked to another company about that, you can say we actually can provide the same service, and on top of that, in our gig, you can be represented. Okay, so it appears September. Georgia is one of the first states. We will let you know when those funds and the game is in play for Georgia. But I think that's a very neat upgrade for your business. So let's go back to the beginning. So market, I think, for an August, September, it's going to be unusually good. You remember the chart in our stats that generally this is the pattern every year. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, you remember that? You remember that? Generally, that's how the year works. Okay, so
In terms of closings,
just in turn, no, not closings, because a lot of times August is from June, July business. I'm talking business happening, business written.
Good contracts.
Okay, so we're kind of in that range now. Okay, but this is not the pattern now. This year looks like it's going to be. I mean, I don't think this is happening. At worst, it's leveling, but it still might be up. These are unusually busy August, September months. And I think mainly because we have crazy low interest rates that is fueling that. So, I'm just telling you, this is, I've said
and he's
it.
go get it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've sold for 15 years. Fall was always my favorite season. I love the fall in this business. Cools down a little bit, obviously. Being out there is great. But remember that people buy emotionally, not logically. By August, there's no emotion in your life. You're hot. That's it. Right? You're just trying to get through the day and stay cool. Just like the spring, when all of a sudden you get that warming spring fever, you know, there's a name for that, you know? It's no different in the fall when it cools. All of a sudden, your senses are alive again. And you are emotional. And that's how people buy. So I love the fall. It's my favorite season of the year. But you're getting an unusual jump start in that the second slowest time of year is actually becoming a very busy time. Okay? So, that's very good news. Let's continue. So, recession. Is it? Isn't it? Charlie, what'd you just tell me coming in?
Well, over July of 2018, we gained 63,000 new jobs in Atlanta, which is actually up, not down from what it was in the spring. Atlanta metropolitan area, which is 29 counties, has just crossed 6 million people for the first time.
Right.
The city of Atlanta has just crossed 500,000 people for the first time. And, population's up, jobs are up, Atlanta's looking good.
Exactly. So again, remember, all news is not the same news. National news different from Atlanta news, which is different from Dunwoody news. Plenty of places in the country probably have a negative job growth, correct?
Correct.
So that's a massive piece of your economy. Okay.
Well, and one other point, Red, we're the 9th largest MSA in the country, and within the next 2 years, we will probably pass Philadelphia and become number 8.
There you go.
They're flat, we're up, and we're going to pass them.
Right. So all we're trying to do, and this, I would think that your clients are asking you this question more and more. Your opinion, they're reading, it's more prevalent. TV, magazine, everywhere you're hearing the R word, you're hearing recession. So I'm thinking they want your opinion on that, right? And it's a great place to show value when you can answer this. So, on the plus side, is there a recession? This is no. We have jobs, okay? What else? Good or bad? I mean, this just came out in Atlanta Magazine. Existing home sales post year-over-year gain. So for the first time in a year, July over July last year was up. Okay, that's a 1 month trend, but that's a plus, right? What else? What is plus or minus out there?
Rates.
Rates are massive, right?
No, they're not massive.
They're actually not massive. This is a massive plus, right? Okay, what else?
Inverted yield curve.
Okay, correct.
Is minimal.
But very,
Okay, which historically signals.
a recession.
Okay, so yes, that is true. What
That
else?
means lower rates
That's
on the
only
housing
50%
side.
of the time, by the way.
Okay, but I'm just saying. Okay, what else?
But the inverted rate curves that occurred in 2001 and 2008, there was a significant gap. Right now, the two are just touching and slightly crossing over on occasion.
Correct. The more you can talk about this in detail when a client asks you, they're gonna be impressed by you. The more that you can explain exactly what we're doing here, you should have this totally written somewhere and in your head and be able to practice to say it. What else?
Trade.
What?
Trade.
Trade is
It's a minus.
right. It's nuts. Who knows what's going on every day, right?
Switches around.
Right. It's freaking people out. The trade situation's horrible. What else?
GDP is up in the second quarter.
Up?
Yeah.
Okay. Good sign. What else?
Manufacturing.
Good or bad?
Flat.
Okay. Nothing. What else? What else on either one of these? Big one over here.
What about the fact that there's less new construction of single-family homes?
Okay.
So therefore, that helps keep your prices up for your homes versus
For resales.
For resales, yeah.
Correct. So wouldn't you say low supply?
Yeah.
I've never seen a correction with low supply. Maybe it'll happen, but doesn't, it's way different than 2008. What else?
Access to credit is easier for buyers now. In the condo market in specific, the FHA just dropped the credit score requirement a bit. And they're also going to start to do spot approvals in unapproved condo complexes now.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on both sides. That's a plus. But when we start just giving away,
Money.
oh, you're warm. Okay, you get a lot. That's a problem, right? That's usually a sign. I'm gonna put that on both sides. What else?
Every movie producer and record producer in the country is coming to Atlanta, I think.
Movie industries, correct. It's not slowing down. That's huge for us. What else? It's probably fueling this too, right? What else?
Big retailers like Target and Walmart, business is up.
Okay.
Brick and mortars.
So we're just gonna say economy up, right?
Let's do the college movement.
And that's Alan Sherman, by the way, just joined us. Meet him. He's a fun guy. He's a talented guy. Economy up. What else? What over here? We've had a long
Run.
upcycle.
Right. That's the longest.
Not to say that it can't go longer, but generally, this is, right?
What it's supposed to do, yeah.
Right, okay.
The belt line, we haven't mentioned the belt line.
Beltline's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Millennials coming here, right?
Big time.
No, that's huge.
Technology.
That's huge, right? Tech companies are coming here because top millennials want to come here, right? And I would say another one is distribution. The way Atlanta's set up with our airport, one of the best in the world, if not the best. 80% of the country you can reach from Atlanta with a 2-hour flight. Also 75, 85, 20, perfect distribution hub. If everyone's going to go to Amazon and deliver in a day, you got to have product on the ground, right?
Or to Savannah.
Right.
True.
All the new freeways.
Tell more about Port Savannah. What's that mean, Charlie?
Well, it's a major entry point into the United States, and because they have deepened the channel,
Right.
they can now take on the new, what they call the new Panamax carriers, ships, which can carry 14,000 containers, which if you put them end to end would be 53 miles long on one ship. And they put those on directly onto trains.
Right.
And they come through Atlanta. And I mean, it just makes us a major focus for distribution, actually all the way into the Midwest now, not just in the Southeast.
Correct. So pay attention when ports near us are deepening channels and when airports near us are lengthening runways. I mean, like Panama City, they lengthen their runway, but they can get bigger planes in. They get international planes now. That should help them. What else?
Aren't we still below the trend line?
Which trend line do you refer to, Mr. Pesto?
The trend line that we've been talking about since the get-go.
The Gary Taylor trend line.
Oh, yeah.
4%.
True. Very good point. Trend line, we're below it. We'll bring that in next week to show you again. But we still have, we're below the what is it? The median price trend line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a good one. That's a very good one. Okay? So, if it was me and a client was asking me at a party or at an official real estate meeting, if I kind of reviewed these before I went in, and I just start rattling these off and writing them down in front of them, I'm going to acknowledge this side too. I would think that most people are going to ask you because they've heard recession everywhere and they're, should I buy? Right? I mean, two different questions. Should I buy if I'm living there? Should I buy if I'm investing? Two different questions. My answer, with all this considered at this point right now today, I would say yes to both. Right? Especially if you're going to buy and live there. Right? The odds are you're going to be there 5-7 years plus. All these are still going to push prices, right? I mean, you're starting to see probably a huge area now is apartment conversion into condo because there's just no entry-level homes, right? That's going to be a big area coming up. Agreed? Good, Charlie. You didn't see Charlie agree.
Well, the reason I say that is we've got a counter situation in Buckhead, the Sutton, which is right at Far Road and Peachtree Road. They've actually gone from being condo to being apartments.
Wow.
They were not selling well enough to stay condos. So I think the conversions are very slow right now. Because it was so big 10 years ago, it gets everybody's attention, but the number of projects they're actually converting is a very low number right now. It's just an attention getter in a sense.
Okay, I'm not talking Buckhead where it's 300,000. I'm talking something that could be sold under 2.
Well,
it might not be in Buckhead. That might not occur.
Right now, Brad, the economics of staying apartments are better than converting and selling.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be a while before we see anywhere near the activity level we had 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't think we ever will, actually.
I agree with that.
But it's a possible, but apartments are in such great demand, why would you want to convert? Because you could sell the whole project for more than you could sell 100 individual units.
Okay, scratch that. Okay, just be prepared. You're going to be asked that. Be able to.
Alicia's going to come take a picture of this, and we're going to send it to you. But you have these talking.
You can't read that. We'll type it up.
Well, I still need to.
Single-family rentals are way up.
Yes.
So there's great demand for single-family purchases by investors for the rental market.
Correct.
And that's driving prices up for owner occupants.
Correct. Okay. You're going to be asked this. You're going to be very smart if you can recite most of this. Okay? And we just watch. We just watch. Anything could change this either way. Actually, the last thing I'll say is even if stock market goes down a lot, thousands, still might not be terrible for us. Just because people have money, if they take it out of the stock market, they would like to put it in something stable, which could be real estate.
I had something, they just approved some offshore big time drilling, which is gonna create a lot more higher paid jobs. I think I just heard that as well.
Okay.
They don't have to go 10 miles out to drill now.
Okay. Okay, so learn this. We'll send you this. All right? 2 things on your calendar. September 19th in here, Texas Hold'em. All money going toward Doug Alexander's son's wife's family. You know the story there. Still giving money to Tracy Todd's family. This will be, we've had 4 tables in the past. Tables dealers will have 6 this time. You don't have to play. You can come watch. It's as many people watching as playing. Adult beverage, food. It's a fun night. So Thursday, September 9th in here. Put it on your calendar.
19th.
19th, correct. Also, October 25th, Friday. This year, no pig roast on Saturday. It's all Friday night. You can come starting at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I'm guessing people will be there till 3 or 4 in the morning. This will be more of a bonfire. We're going to cook a ton of food. We'll have a lot of adult beverage. We usually, the World Series is in. We'll have big screen. But that's the night. The night's the night. So you can stay out later. We actually have a lot of people stay late. But there's
What was the date?
Friday, October
25th.
25th. Yeah, we just found there's too many conflicts on Saturday. It's October. People have fall festivals, school stuff, Georgia football. Yeah, so
Now
we're
you got a
just.
fleet of Ubers lined up for 12 midnight to get people home.
It might be a good idea.
Of course.
You know, it's not a bad idea. Okay, so have that on your calendar. All right, let's move to agent profit share. So we're a profit sharing company. Every month we give away 48% of our profits to agents. Anyone can participate in this. If you don't understand how to build a downline, come talk to me. It's one of my favorite topics. So here we go. These are people that made $1 to $100 last month. Rebecca Constantine, Amanda, help me.
Braysick.
Yep, she changed her last name. Nicole Ambrose, Renee Grace, Avena Denany, Doug Alexander, Osea Nam, Renita Crawley, Carla Mueller, Michelle Morales, Joe Cannon, Rachel Poor, Kelly Coker Gibbons, Lita Jordan, and Felicia Adams. Congratulations. 100 to 200, Eddie Levin, Marianne Payne, Sean King, Nicole Maben, Rashad Arnold, Becky Wynn Evans, Joel Perkins, Becky Veal, Dave Evans. Congratulations. 2 to 500, getting pretty good here. Rocky Kaufman, Susan Eschbach, Adriana Ozero, Ming Joe, Tara Gaines, Virginia Moran, Tosh McGraves, John Cassane, Kathy House, Angela Tate, Bernie Smith, Trish Alexander, Jim McCarty, Denise Britty, Clax Underwood, and Chris Knott. Congrats. 500 to 1,000, John Damiano, R.J. McCarty, Cindy Sprague, are you kidding me? Jana Huffam, Dave Thomas, and Michael Martino. 1,000 to 2,000, Mike Culver, Lynn LaCroix, M.J. Thomas, Amisha Mason, Diana Bowers. Every month she's 1,000, 2,000. Priya Brown. And looky here, 2,000 to 5,000. Cynthia Pierce, Bill Haas, and Gene Bramlett. Congratulations. Come talk to me. I'll talk to you 30 minutes about this. This is a strategy. It's a game you're going to play if you want to learn how to start receiving profit share. All right. let's move backwards. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. What is customer service? Okay, we keep having issues with this. Okay? I'll give you a key. What's the most important thing in customer service? It's one of those two words. What? Service! Customer service.
Give them the pickle.
Starts with service, okay? We got to. This is why people use us, and this is why people refer us, because we serve them well, okay? Remember that. We're always doing things that please the customer, that make them like us, want to be around us, want to refer us. For people to refer you, you have to have given service. Okay? So why do you go to Bones?
Experience.
Well, it is the total experience. So you wouldn't go there if their food wasn't amazing, right? But after that, would you say their customer service is off the charts? Right?
Yes.
Right. So, can you imagine that if you went to Bones and the guy handed you one of those blinky things you get and said, here you go, and when your food's ready, this is going to blink, and just walk through that door and go in the kitchen and get your plate. Right? That's not what we're paying for, correct? And even more important, when we screw up, which we all screw up, okay, we're human beings, okay? It happens. The biggest key to your whole career is when you mess up or when things sometimes it's not even your fault, okay? Just solve the problem, okay? So I'm at Bones again. I ordered medium well steak. It comes out medium rare, okay? A lot of people make that a major issue, like life's gonna end, okay? Okay, so as the manager, I'm gonna come over. Ms. Poser, I apologize. We will correct this quickly, right? We take the steak back, we cook it correctly. What even better? What will they probably do at their level of service? They'll calm something, right? What's your favorite drink? We'd like to bring you that. You're probably begging next time they miscook your steak, right? Same thing. Take your time. You're right. So we have to do the same thing in real estate. The minute things get sideways, we have to go overboard. Okay? Have to. And one piece of that is in communication. A lot of us, I know the world hides behind text and email. We don't have to call, we don't have to meet. But when things are getting screwy, we need to hear a tone of voice, and we most likely need to meet in person. I promise you, it's amazing how that will solve the problem. Okay? We got to do that. We have to overserve where people feel like, at worst case, at least this is the level of service I'm expecting to get when I'm paying you a $30,000 commission on my $1 million house. Thank you very much. Right? So I don't expect you to tell me to, well, bring your earnest money to my office. Okay?
Right.
Okay? I'm paying you $30,000, much less $5. Okay? Just there's things that are the service. That's what we do. And another expectation is just response time. I'm paying you a lot of money. I'm not expecting you to call back in 30 minutes. Now I know some people do, and we have that problem, right? And I will teach you that people that keep calling every 10 minutes, there's a way to slow that down. That's not the expectation. But it is the expectation that you're not going to go a day, right? We need to solve that problem. Yes, I know we have a life, but our client doesn't want to hear that, right? I'm paying you $30,000 to sell my house. I would think that if you were going to be off or non-reachable, that you have put a system in place where I can reach somebody if I need you, right? That's service. Okay? We got to do this. On top of service, customer service is knowledge, and it's intuition of how people want to be treated and how they want the deal to go. All that's part of it, but remember, service is that simple. Yes?
What do you think of the top 3 things? Communication, one.
For what?
That people lack, or realtors lack, in giving optimum service. All right, communications, one. like you just
Yeah,
said.
response time.
Timeliness.
Two,
Well, I would say, again, number one is probably that you do kind of view that you're a servant. I mean, there's a limit. I'm not saying just unlimited, you know. I mean, if your client calls up and says, hey, could you drive my mom to Ohio? You're not doing that, right? But I'm just saying, what's
I'll find you a
expected.
service that will.
Right. But I'm just saying, there's, I mean, a million stories. Look at Susan, where's Susan Esbach? She already.
She's got a caravan.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, she's had times where she couldn't get the client, like, please.
She trimmed their bushes.
Right, your house will sell. Just get someone to plant 4 bushes. She'll go plant them. Right?
So communication wise, I always set the expectation up front, whether it's a listing or a buyer, to say, I'm available by phone all day. If I don't answer your call, it's because I'm with another client. Just like you and I are together right now, if my phone rings, I'm not gonna answer it. But you can be assured when we're finished, I'm gonna be calling that person right back. So the same is, if I don't answer, most likely I'm with the client. And they'll say, oh yeah, oh I like that. Tell them day one. That's what they can expect.
I think the other thing sometimes is the way you communicate and have that clear channel, whether or not it's text, whether or not it's voice, whether or not it's in person, you know, how you communicate it sometimes can be a problem in the servicing orientation. So make sure you have a clear understanding. We take the listing or you're working with the buyer. How do you prefer to be communicated to? That's 1 and 2 in my list.
Yeah, communication, I would say service communication rank up there, right? And then, and part of communication is speed of response. And there's, I'm not saying always be speedy. It's not the expectation. If someone tries to get you at 4 in the morning, that is not the expectation of anybody, okay? Or the same thing maybe after 9 at night. That's not the expectation unless we're doing a deal. But in other hours, we expect to be responded to in a timely manner. Another thing would be do what you promise you're going to do. I mean, you're going to lose a client just like that. If you say you did it and you're not going to do it, or you say I'm going to call you at 5 and you didn't do it. Or, hey, I'm taking your listing and 1 through 10, this is what I'm doing. And you did 1, 2, and 8. Yeah.
One of the biggest things last night, I took a listing, and they had interviewed 2 or 3 different people. And I mean, after she asked her new fiance, her fiance asked my client now, says, why are you picking Jake? And out of the blue, I was shocked. She says, because I trust him. And this was like to her fiance, who was really drilling me on things. What am I going to do for them? You know, all his successes in selling. And I was just cloud 9 when I came out of there last night.
You should
what
be.
a fun time.
Yeah, trust is big, and
Yeah.
I trust Jay. So that's a big one. I mean, that you put on the total aura around you is you're trustworthy. There you go. So let's we're getting near time. Certainty home loans.
Certainty.
Come on down. In the house.
In the house. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We'll keep it short and sweet because we're about out of time. Guys, we talked about it. Rates on the plus side, but it's very volatile. They are rocking up and down almost on a daily basis. So there is quite a bit of volatility there. Right now, currently, we're seeing jumbos. Anything over 484, we're seeing them about 3.75, which is really good. Conventional, we're seeing, I locked a couple of people at 3 3/8, 3.375. Now it cost them a half a point or so, but it was well worth it. Par rate, right now we're seeing 3.5 to 3.6. Somebody in the back mentioned the FHA condo thing. Appreciate you mentioning that. I had that on my list to talk about. It takes place October 15th. Everybody's been screaming to FHA to do something about condos for a long time because they just let their list of approved condominiums die out and made it so difficult to get approvals. And so now they're going to go back to spot approvals. That takes place October 15th. Remains to be seen how easy the process is going to be, but for those of you that have condominium listings in that FHA price range, it should be a big help to you. Okay? As far as business, you were talking about that little slope right there. This weekend, easily 3 times the pre-approval letters sent out as a normal weekend. So
Which is always a good sign.
yeah,
Right, there you go.
Because we're on the front end of it. I mean, easily business is extremely up, and you say, well, yeah, it's up because we do refinances too. No, we were sending out pre-approval letters for purchases like crazy this weekend. So kudos to you guys.
So that's one of our leading indicators.
The business is there, and it's the rates are there too. So
And Randy, our underwriting turn times are awesome.
yeah, I mean,
Even as busy as we are.
yeah, we're one day, usually 2 days in underwriting. So, all right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
All right, real men wear pink, Randy, so good for you. So
Some of us can pull it off.
yeah, you can. So, I mean, I'll stop asking you how's the market. There's probably a better indicator. Last weekend, what was your volume? I mean, that's probably a real true indicator. Right. So all I'm trying to say is, it is busy out there at a time where generally this is a weaker time. So it's pretty cool to have that. All right, she's hiding behind the corner, but I know she's there.
Come on down.
Miss Dillon, again, what's happening in the world of closings other than our least favorite time, which is tax bills are out?
It's all tax bill questions, and I got a lot of follow-up questions after the meeting last week from people that were watching online. So just again, as a refresher from last week, it is property tax time. It's my least favorite time of the year. We have to pay, once the tax bills come out, which they're pretty much all out at this point, all of the counties are out. I think we're still waiting on City of Atlanta and DeKalb to come out. What, did they come out?
DeKalb's out, because I got ours.
Okay. Well, I know like the DeKalb County ones are, but the City of Atlanta for some reason and DeKalb hasn't mailed. I think that's the only one we're still waiting on. Regardless, once those bills are out, we have to pay them at closing. So I've gotten a few questions. First of all, if you have a listing, if you're taking a listing right now and your seller doesn't escrow, have them go ahead and pay the taxes now. In all likelihood, that tax bill is going to show up as paid by the time they end up closing. Even if you got an offer on the first day and it's a 30-day close, 30 days will be enough to do it. Don't wait and pay the taxes at the last minute. If your seller is escrowing, you just have to set some expectations with them about what's going to happen with property taxes. If they're closing, in the next month before the tax bill is due, if it's not shown as being paid, even if it's shown as coming out of their escrow account, we will have to collect that amount to send in. Because a lot of times, even if the lender's sending it in, if it doesn't get applied properly, if it gets applied to a wrong piece of property, we can't rely on the fact that lender's sending it out of the escrow account. So what we have done in the past, Debbie and Carol, my closers, they have a little corkboard and they have tax bill checks tacked up to it. We will hold on to your seller if your seller's escrowing and the lender's supposed to be paying the bill and it's close to the taxes being due. We'll hold that check. We don't want to pay the taxes twice. We don't want to have to be going after the counties to get the taxes back, just like the sellers don't want to. So we will try to wait to the last possible moment to see if the lender's check will clear and apply to the property before sending it in. But we still will have to collect it at closing. Once it shows as being cleared, we'll refund that money back to the seller. We'll send them a check back, but we still have to hold on to it. Any questions about that?
So prepare your clients for this. We got double situation right now. One, if you don't prepare your buyer's going to pay a little bit extra right now because the whole year has to be paid, correct? So they're going to be the seller is going to pay the whole year right now, if not paid, and the buyer is going to have to reimburse him for the 3 or 4 months. So prepare them. This will show up, but your taxes are paid for the year. On the other side, the double pay by the seller, we need to prepare them for that.
Yeah, and the way we and most other attorneys show it on the settlement statement is we collect the full amount of the tax bill from the seller, and then on the first page of your Alta settlement statement, it's shown as a proration where the buyer is crediting the seller for their portion of the property taxes. And for those of you that are really new in the state of Georgia, tell your clients too, especially if they're not from around here. A lot of people don't understand that Georgia, these bills that come out in the middle of the year are for the calendar year of 2019, from January 1 through December 31st. A lot of people from out of state don't realize that because other states pay them either in arrears or in advance. So just let them know it's a little confusing since they come out, you know.
I had two sellers tell me this year, first time in 13 years of real estate, say, "Oh, I've already paid my taxes." I said, "Oh, when did you do that?" "Well, in November of last year."
Yeah.
I said, "That was last year's
That was last
taxes."
year.
And they're all flustered, and they have to go back and look at their tax bill. Oh, that was for 2018.
Yeah.
It would be logical to make them do on December 31st or January 1st.
For the next year, for previous.
Yeah, but it's not the way it is.
All right. Well, if your sellers have any tax questions that you can't answer, or you don't feel comfortable answering, just send them to us. We're pretty much talking about it nonstop at this time of the year. So just send it to us, and we will set them straight on the taxes. Great. Thank y'all.
There we go. Thank you. Okay, so Stacy, any training? We know Pete. You'll be receiving videos from Pete. You'll be receiving. We'll have in class on command.
Right. So this week, even though I said sometimes they're not command related, there's some good ones this week. Really, this one will be fun and interesting. The designs and the one on Thursday at 4:00 is all about the transition from old current green sheets to the new system. If you need to watch this, either there or it'll be posted on the website on Friday if you can't make it at that time. This is the one. Yeah, and it's agent oriented. So we're how long are
Any
the
transaction.
classes? You know, some are 30 and some are an hour. Either
It just
yeah.
So anything that's already submitted via green sheet, we're not gonna have to go back and make any changes.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
just gonna be anything new after the cutover date.
Correct.
Which is
Correct.
September.
And well, we think September 1. It's not official yet, but
But again, after September 1, don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you don't get it, just call in, come in. There's plenty of people standing by to walk you through this.
question.
Are you emailing this just today?
We can.
We can.
Yep. That'll be a good idea.
Oh, those cute little.
It's easier to cut and paste.
Okay.
With
So,
pictures.
all good?
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, listen, Caravan, what do you got? Nancy Aronic.
I'm talking for Susan Ashback.
Good.
Speed it up, girl.
She is having a caravan. My first thought, I've seen that house, my first thought was you will never get this price. But once you walk in, it's a fabulous house. It is on Johnson Ferry, right outside Keswick. If you have a problem parking, park on Keswick Drive. That's fine. And she is giving $100 away to participants.
Okay.
Anyone that comes gets $100.
Yes.
Deal.
Walk in and tell us Nancy said.
I'm going. All right.
Nancy who?
All right, what else?
310 Rumford Point today, broker open agent caravan, whatever you want to call it, 2 to 4. Please come take a look. It's in Grogan's Bluff. It's a 6, 5.5, full finished basements. It's amazing.
Good. Nice listing. Who else? Rashad.
As I stated last week, coming soon over in Camp Creek. We actually it'll be listed next Friday, next Thursday. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Cluster home, 2-car garage, about $190,000. City of Banana proper. Love to get some co-ops in this office. Let's get this money.
Okay.
I have something interesting coming up. It's going to be in Decatur, and it is handicapped accessible. And my brother bought it. He's a flipper, and they were trying to decide if they're keeping it handicapped accessible. And right at this point, we're going to. It has, the shower's already been done. The kitchens are the lower counters. You can bring in the wheelchair can go right underneath the counter. The sink is lower. It's going to get some minor rehab. It's really in nice shape. I think it's gonna be around 235, 240. But if you have anyone who's looking for handicapped accessible, it'll be available in about 4 weeks.
Where in Decatur?
I'll get you the exact information. I haven't
Over
seen
there.
it yet. I've seen the pictures. He's buying it on the 6th, I think. So then I'll get access. So.
Selena.
I have a new listing. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome in Stone Mountain, 30083. The Amazon Fulfillment Center that's supposed to be coming is coming real close. Very nice designs, listed at 169. It has a 1-car garage. And I'm selling the one next door tomorrow. We had tons of interest for that one. So it's a really nice property.
Good for you. Rashad again.
Got buyer needs, East Atlanta, Kirkwood, Grant Park, anything in town. I take West Side, West End, up to 200,000 fixer-uppers. Have a hedge fund is looking to pick up about 10 to 20. So we prefer off market, but we'll do on market. Please, got anything?
Sounds like a nice client. Jake?
I have a 3-2 listing built by 1984. It's a Charleston style brick, well built, little boutique condo off Pitt and Colquitt, I guess it is. Colquitt, yeah, area, thank you. And price wise on it, $265. Nice one, good price.
Okay. All right.
All right.
If you're looking for the deli that was temporarily across the way, it is now upstairs on level 2. So just go toward the back door. You'll see it on the right. It's inside that office space. The reason they're there is a vendor is they're beginning to rehab, so this will be redone, and we will have someone in there, I guess, in a couple months. But breakfast and lunch are up there. Also remember, next Monday is Labor Day. Office staff is off for that day. Remember your fob, 24/7, 365 gets you in the office. Office is always open to you. Anything else?
The address is Marsh Rabbit, if anyone knows where that is.
Marsh Rabbit.
Yeah.
Write that down.
I thought it was a joke, but that's what it is.
What's that? Yes. Yes, ma'am. All right. Y'all have a good one.